You guys are not gonna believe this, but this is literally my fifth time recording it. The first two times I thought I turned on the mic. But anyways, let's cut straight to it. The question I'm answering in this video is, do I still dropship? And the short and simple answer is yes. But the complicated answer is it's a lot more in depth than just that, because there are ways to get more profits than just dropshipping. And I'm going to explain a lot more in depth once I pull out the Evernote, and I'll show you guys this link. And the reason why I want to make this video today is because I did the Graham Steph interview probably a year ago, and people are asking, are you still doing the same thing a year ago? Because people change, right? But I still do it. And I used to make YouTube videos about and around dropshipping, and that was a year ago, 2 years ago. And I completely stopped doing that because I really wanted to focus on myself. And I felt like I put enough videos out there where it was helpful. But to be honest with you, the industry is changing, and that's why I'm making this video. Because why do dropshipping when it's a level 1 or 2 business when you can do it at a very higher level? Higher levels, for example, like FBA, private labeling, branding your store, turning it into actual company. And I've exited in my Shopify stores as well. What is exiting? Exiting is selling your store, and there's many different ways to sell it. And if you create a whole plan before you execute, it's a little bit more clear of a picture. So I feel like I'm a little obligated to kind of show this. Whenever I learn little secrets, it's nice to kind of show it, because I think that you guys deserve to do it for yourself as well, because I don't mind showing it to you guys, to be honest with you guys. And like sometimes when I go over strategies on YouTube of the things I do, and I get a lot of fucking DMs. People are like, "Oh, you changed my life. Oh, this strategy works. Now I'm making $1,000 a day." And there's quite a few, and it's a nice feeling, to be honest with you guys. And the secondary factor is when you guys do reach levels like a few $100s a day, $1,000 a day, it benefits me hugely, because now you're gonna enter my network, and I'm probably gonna start talking to you, maybe on Skype. Maybe I'll give you my phone number, and we start talking about strategies of like how you got there, and I can learn off of you guys as well. This is a very tight knit community, and there's multi benefits. Like me sharing this, like I've met most of my friends, and all of them I've met on social media, and I feel like maybe I'll drag one person off of this video, and maybe they'll DM me, and maybe we'll become friends, because literally all my friends were on through an Instagram DM. Anyways, I'm diverting from the video a little bit. I started this sheet a little bit. This link is going to be a link to the Graham Stephan interview I did with him. And if you haven't watched it, you can watch it. I don't think you guys need to watch it, but I thought it was a pretty cool video. And if you want to learn more about me, I think it's a good video to kind of learn about what I do, because I don't like explaining the same thing over and over again. So, and he edited it, so it's a very condensed video. Anyways, I was starting this, and I realized that my mic was off. Very sad. Different ways of e-commerce I pursue. Jeez, my voice is actually so dead, because I just had a fever, and my throat was dying. Anyways, I feel like I'm a lot better, and I'm going to push through it because I'm not a fucking bitch. Anyways, different ways of e-commerce I pursue. Obviously, dropshipping. And just in case you don't know what dropshipping is, or maybe just as a refresher, what dropshipping is you can use websites like AliExpress, DHgate, and there's plenty of other websites. Like, if you guys are ambitious, check out Taobao. That's actually where one of my close friends actually sources from, because they are very competitive. I mean, they almost always beat Alibaba and AliExpress. I don't know the exact specifics, and but Taobao's pretty cool, and there's other websites I've been using as well. But this is the primary easiest way to get into dropshipping, because you don't need to buy fucking inventory. You don't have any fucking overhead, except for after a 14-day trial, you have to pay $29. And honestly, what is $29? It's probably a small investment for a big future. Just look at my story. I mean, I started off with maybe a few $1,000s, maybe $2,000 to my name, saved up from selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards, selling my games, And honestly, anything I had, like I sold shoes that I had for no fucking reason. I was just like, why the fuck do I have Nikes when I could just sell it for $50? I got really real with myself when I was 16 because, to be honest with you guys, that was a defining moment in my future. I had a 2-year deadline, and if I didn't make something happen, I would have to go to college. And I do not believe that college was made for people like me. I feel like I'm a different type of person. I like to do things my way. I don't really like a structure around things, and I don't like inefficiency. I feel like school is one of the most inefficient things ever created. I know that's a very bold statement, and I am shitting on schools a little bit, but it wasn't made for me because if I were to get out of that, I would have an income that would not really increase. And if it were to increase, it would just adjust with inflation. And who wants to increase their income by just 2-3%? I want to increase my income by 100%. I want to see what my limit is. And according to my limits, it's a matter of how smart I get, how hard I work, and the things I learn. It's a very simple thing, and I'm sure you guys already know that. But I went a little away from the topic because I felt like those are very important points to address. But different ways of e-commerce. I mean, there's other ways. You've probably heard of FBA. If you guys haven't, it's called Fulfillment by Amazon. A big majority of things you find on Amazon are FBA. So what they do is they buy inventory. Or there's also a lot of Amazon dropshippers. But the problem with FBA is they take an initial fee of 99 cents and then adjustable variable closing fees that range up to $1.50, I think. And I don't know how the fuck I remember this, but I kind of like numbers. And fun fact, not that you guys give a shit, but when I was born here in America. By the way, I'm Chinese. And I'd say my first language I ever learned was maybe a little bit of Chinese, and then it would have to been math. I learned English when I was probably in 3rd grade. I had a hard time learning English because my parents, they just couldn't teach me it. They didn't really know it. They came to America with probably 2 hands. They both had 2 hands, and that's what they always tell me. And maybe a few $100 American, which is probably 1,000 now in modern dollars. And they had to make something happen. And math was kind of my confidence factor. It was the first time in my whole life where I actually saw confidence in myself. And maybe that's why I'm successful in Facebook ads. But to be honest with you guys, I was in a very desperate spot when I was 16 and 17. And when you're in desperation mode, when you're fucking broke, when you only have $1,000 to your name, if you're like under 5 or 6 figures, you're considered broke in my opinion, because you don't have the freedom of like, I want to go to Cabo. I want to retire my parents. I want to buy my parents Tesla Model X. I want to buy a BMW or a Ferrari or whatever. And not that everybody needs those things, but to have the freedom to try it out, and maybe you realize that, oh, I am not really about the materialistic things. But I would say at 99% of people that get started, it's okay to be materialistic because it's a very strong motivator. For me, it was a Lamborghini Gallardo, because you could buy a Lamborghini for $100,000 used. Probably find $80,000 if you keep scouting out on eBay. But yeah, my confidence really came from, to be honest with you guys, math. And that's why I memorize things. And I kind of diverged a little bit because I want to tell you guys a little bit more about myself. I want to use this YouTube channel of documenting myself. And I feel like you guys have a lot to learn. I always learn from many people. I invest in many mentors. I read all the time because I feel like maybe I'm level 32 Richard, and maybe there's 100 levels out there. I feel like there's so many different levels. I mean, Richard Branson's at a different level. And you could probably name 100 people that are way higher level than me. And I feel like I have a lot to learn. And life is not really about money. It's about like how much I can learn. And once you learn this shit, to be honest with you guys, once you're fucking good, you're going to make money. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're good. And if you're good, that's better than average. And average is piss poor results. So you're going to do well if you learn the shit, but take the time to learn it, because how can you make $1 million when all the type of education you have was through high school and maybe college? It had nothing to do with the business you're in. But again, FBA fees are on average 13%, but most people like to say 15%. So you guys should think about that if you guys ever do FBA. I do it because it's a free traffic source. And if you have a margin, a profit margin of 40%, 45%, and let's just say you have $100, I'm trying to do easy numbers here. You have $100, you have a $50 profit margin, and if FBA takes 15% of that, it's okay. You still have 35%. Like, you're still square. You're making $35 off of every purchase. So if you do the math that way, if you sell a $15 product, $20 product, I like to play with bigger margins, and obviously bigger is sometimes better. But in the game of e-commerce, it's very, very important to have big margins, because your margins dictate how much you're willing to lose to acquire each customer. And I'm going to repeat that one more time, because I felt like this was a game changer. And once I realized this, I was like, shit, I could just run as much money into ads as long as my cost per purchase is under my break-even point, my break-even dollar point. And if it's $20, you can technically pay $19, but preferably stay under 15, because if you're playing with those margins, there's also fucking fees. So you have to keep those into account. And there's also sales tax. Nobody fucking talks about tax in this industry, by the way. And I feel like to be honest with you guys, I'm making enough money, and you guys gotta understand that I'm making these videos not to literally make money. Like, I have not ever released a course, and there's a fucking reason why. It's because I don't need the fucking money. I'm making enough money by myself, and I'm going to make another video on what are my income streams now, because I like to be very focused in what I do. But yeah, this video is more of like, hey guys, I'm back on YouTube, and I'm back and stronger than ever, and I feel like I want to give back. And I've said this in other videos, I believe in charity, but I feel like the deepest meaning of giving others your wealth is actually your time. Like, time I value a lot more than anything. I value my time at around $500 an hour right now. It's variable. If you want to buy my time, I sometimes might not agree to it. It's very hard to put a number on it, because as always, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. There are times where I make $1,000 an hour. There are days where I only make $300 or $200 or even $100 an hour. But let me just finish this video, all the other topics and all these fun ideas, and I want to show you guys different ways that I'm making money. I just got into a real estate deal, and I don't know for a fact, but I expect to make $150,000 profit off of an investment of $250,000. And if you guys are watching me on YouTube, you guys did see me send the wire transfers of exactly $233,000 plus a $20,000 commission to someone that helped me find a deal called a wholesaler. So this channel is probably going to be based off of what I do, and you guys can continue following me if you guys want to. But you know, if you guys are not into real estate, into wealth building, into dropshipping, Shopify, e-commerce, and if you guys are into stocks, I'm most likely never going to talk about stocks, never going to talk about Forex, because these are things that I'm not good at. But again, let me wrap up this video. This has been 14 minutes, and it's very nice to be with you guys. If you guys have been with me this whole time, I really do appreciate that. I do want to build a connection with you guys, because honestly, it's fun. I mean, I just allocate maybe half an hour, maybe an hour every single day to something that means a lot to me, and it's you guys. I've been building you guys up since 2017, 17, 18, 19, and 2020 is coming up. So it's almost 4 years, or 3 years, and then starting 4 years with you guys. And it's cool, because I want to appreciate and leverage this platform a little bit more, because I feel like I have a lot to give. And if I'm never going to do work and put out YouTube videos, it's never going to be spoken. Anyways, FBA, there's also private label. So let's just say your name is Mark. what's your last name? Let's say your last name is for some reason Mark, just for example's sake, okay? And you're selling this beauty brand and you're selling this lipstick. So you want to slap Mark's Finest onto all of your lipsticks. That's what private label is, if you guys haven't heard of it. It's basically slapping a name brand onto it, just so that you have some brand awareness and customers might see, okay, so they're not just selling like a random product that has no name on it. This is a legitimate company, and that social proof might just be the little switch or the trigger for someone to buy from you. Okay, and then private label, FBA, there's a lot of different other things I do. One product stores could be a subcategory of any of these things. And one product stores, and I own a lot of these one product stores. You know, if you're selling AirPods or like Air whatever, then, you know, obviously this is not a name that you guys can have, but airpods.com. So you're primarily selling this, but you might also sell wired headphones as well. So a lot of my one product stores are very focused. And the reason why I do this is because I've compared all these different options, and conversion rates really do vary off of the industry, your product, and there's too many variables to give you guys a definite answer. And that's why when you guys do DM me, you guys need to be specific. And the reason why is, if I can say it depends to your question, then that means you're not specific enough. And the reason why sometimes I'm a dick and I respond back with it depends to you guys is because if you guys are not specific, I'm going to waste my time giving you guys an answer that I'm guessing. And guessing is bad because that's assuming. And you guys already fucking know that assuming is a bad thing to do, because you got to know the facts before you do something. So one product stores, in my opinion, I do like it, and it's a very common sense thing for me where, okay, if this business is focused around this one product, it better be a fucking good product. And for all my one product stores, I like to make sure I order it, I check it, I check every possible worst case scenario with the product, because if you don't check it now, spend a few months on perfecting this, okay? But I would first off drop ship and see if you have any volume, and after probably 100 orders, 50 orders, order it in and really double check everything. Obviously, you've probably already done the check on AliExpress reviews. You're like, generally, okay, this is a 4.8 star product, but it doesn't lay out all the problems. Suppliers are not going to tell you that this product dies after 7 months because it's a very poor quality lithium battery or some shit, right? So you're going to have to do your due diligence, because after you run this company for 5 months, 6 months with hundreds of customers, you're going to have complaints, and you have to learn how to deal with these complaints, because if you don't deal with it, what are you? You're considered a scammer. And it's not about being a scammer or not. It's about doing things that are kind of legal. You guys should not do it that way, because let me ask you a question. Do you want to go to jail? And also, do you want to have a long-term business? It's a long-term play as well. And if you guys can think long-term, that's where the pot of gold is. That's where the money is. And a lot of people rather make $5,000 a month now in 30 days than see the fact that they can bring their business, like my business, to 100, 200, 300. And you guys seen, excuse me, I'm so sick. You guys probably seen the store I did that was doing 320,000 per month, and what was I trying to say? When you're trying to take it to these, when you're trying to take it up to these levels, there's only one way to get there. It's to do a long-term play, because it's unsustainable to run a business that's doing such high volume. You know, when I first did my first 100,000 month, to be honest with you guys, it was fucking great, you know, and it's nice, but it comes with a lot of headaches as well, and nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about the fact that, you know, you're going to have a lot of customers that are going to ask questions. How do you hire the right people? And these are all just problems that come around. So business seems very sexy online sometimes, but when you guys get down and dirty, when you run a real company, it's not all sunshines and rainbows and Lamborghinis and all that. As much as you guys probably wish that was the truth, but understand what is true reality, and your perception will change. And hopefully your perception will change into a longer term thinking pattern. But holy shit, it's been a while since I made a 20-minute video, but these are the main ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you could talk about niche stores and general stores. People always ask me this, what is the difference between it? Let me just go over what the difference is and which one I like more. General store allows you to have diversity. That is the pro, and there are cons of the business. The con is it's a general store and it sells everything. So your customer is like, okay, so they just kind of sell anything? So you kind of lose a little bit of quality and respect off of that potential customer. And it's always about the customer, guys. You guys got to think about them because after all, they have your money. They got your money. They're the one that holding the credit card that's about to give you money. So might as well think about how you can serve them and how you can better their lives. Because if you better their lives, that's how you capitalize in this, I was going to say capitalist country, but I know that there's also people here that are in Australia and Canada and other places, and I don't understand the laws there or the governments there. Anyways, the pro of general stores is diversity, guys. And I did general stores a lot before because, to be honest with you guys might test 2 or 3 products and you guys might cry or like say that I give up on business and entrepreneurship because it doesn't work out. To be honest with you guys, it took me many tries. I don't remember the exact number, but it was probably above 5, probably above 7, maybe even above 10 tries before I found the right product. And I'm trying to let you guys know and shed a little bit of light of the truth behind all this glory in this industry, because it's seriously not about yachts and Lamborghinis, because I see too many people doing it and I gotta speak up, man. It just seems like the right thing to do. Anyways, so general stores, the pro is diversity, allows you guys to test different products, because if you guys do test many products, which you guys probably will, if you create one product stores or niche stores around all of them, if it's a niche store, you're stuck in that fucking niche. And what if it's a bad niche? Or what if you don't have any products? You're just forcing yourself to be inside of that niche. You understand that, right? Like you're forcing yourself into a situation that might not be the highest percentage chance of you succeeding. General store allows you to have diversity. So what I like to do in the beginning, I still like this for, I would say, a majority of people. That's an average skill set in this industry, is do a general store in the beginning, just because it allows you to test. And if you do start seeing volume, if you start seeing 2, 3, 4, 5 sales, and let's say you're not making that much money, you understand that this product has margin. So what are the ways that you can increase the conversion rate so that you do have higher profit margins, and then you invest into it. And that's when I push it into a one product store or maybe a niche store. I like one product store. So if it's an AirPod, just name it airpods.com or something that doesn't sound scummy, because I see a lot of you guys do like bestairpods.com, and like the customer's like, why are you calling yourself the best? And it's good sometimes, but try to make it something that doesn't make them think twice, because again, they're on social media. They're at a very passive state looking at their friends and Dan Bilzerian posts in a very passive and shit. They're in a very passive state. You guys need to understand buyer psychology. When someone's in a passive state, you don't want them to think. I know this sounds really weird, but you don't want them to think too hard. You want them to go through a very smooth process and be like, okay, oh, I actually do want this AirPod. You guys have a 30% sale this week only. Yeah, might as well buy it. I mean, I think it's a good price. And the more you can think in terms of your customers, the more money you can make. So I'm going to end off the video here. There are other ways of doing e-commerce, but these are the primary ways that I do business. If you guys have other ways of doing e-commerce, feel free to comment down below. If you have questions, You guys can try to DM me. I'll answer it if it's high level enough or try to constructive enough. Like, I see it most of the times. I probably poop once a day, hopefully. And usually in this time, I have no fucking idea what to do. Maybe music, but I like to spend that 5-10 minutes to look at the DMs, and I try to scroll through a little bit, and that's when I start networking with you guys, and maybe I'll meet you one day, and maybe you're fucking dope. But if you're not dope, I mean, I don't like to waste time with poor quality people. So make yourself high level, and high level people will start hanging out with you. Jeez, I almost dropped my AirPods. All right, guys, it's been 25 minutes. It's really cool hanging out with you guys. But I'll leave you guys to it. And if you guys have any questions regarding this topic, just comment it down below. But if there's something more specific, feel free to DM me. But I hope you guys found a lot of value off of this video. I mean, I've been posting value for a while, and I hope to keep it that way. And I never asked of you guys to do anything, but if you guys can tell a friend, like seriously, I sound like a bitch right now, but if you guys can tell a friend to just come hang out at my channel or just check out my shit, because the shit I post is pretty fucking high level. And I give out, I mean, I know people sell the information I released on my YouTube channel for thousands of dollars, if not more. I've seen $2,000 programs. I've seen shit ton of $297 courses, you know, and all that shit. But I believe in the long term, and I want to create a brand. I want to have a community that's actually fulfilling and not just for money. Because again, I make enough money to not have to milk you guys like a snake's salesman and shit, right? So yeah, if you guys could tell a friend, you know, there's this dope guy called Richard Jordan. Call me Richard Jordan, by the way. I like that a little bit more, just preference. And yeah, just tell him that you know, this guy makes good money and he's got pretty good knowledge, hopefully, that he's sharing. And after all, you're helping a friend out, and that'd be dope, man. If you do that, it would help me out a lot. And I'm really trying to grow this channel to 10K, 20K, and then beyond. But I understand that I need to give out extremely high level value that nobody else is giving, and that takes a lot of time to think of ideas like this. And this idea, I did have to notebook quite a bit just to create this, and I hope you guys do appreciate it. If you guys do like it, let me know. But if you guys think any sections were a waste of your time or just poor value, let me know. I am a man that wants to improve, so tell me. All right, it's been 20 fucking minutes, guys. So I think you guys learned enough. And honestly, being on YouTube for 30 minutes is probably enough. So you guys should get off of YouTube. I say this a lot, and it's probably going to be my saying for a long time. Get off of YouTube, get off of social media, and do what you already know you should be doing, but you're not doing it. Because what are you? Lazy fuck? And lazy fucks don't make $1 million a year, or ever make $1 million. So go do that. Go start this business if you want to. And you know, live a meaningful life. Live a meaningful life, and live a life of financial abundance. And I think that you'll be more happy. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and I really do appreciate your time, guys. And peace out, guys.